Hi, and welcome to that Bass and Creativity lesson. My name is Olivier Babaz, and today let's talk about Sus4 and Sus2 chords. Sus2 and Sus4 are chords where the third is omitted. So at the moment you're playing the voicing, there is no third expressed. However, it doesn't mean that this chord at that moment is neither major or minor. There is always an underlying mode under a voicing. So under a Sus4, for example, a 7 Sus4 chord, it's very often or very common to play the Mixolydian mode. So let's hear how a Sus4 voicing sounds like. So I'll have root on the bass, 4 and 7 on top, if I'm in E. So here, no third. We don't know if it's major or minor. However, I have already decided as a solist to play the Mixolydian chord from that voicing, the Mixolydian mode from that voicing. So let's start from the same color and unfold on the bass the Mixolydian mode. So that's a really beautiful suspended color, and we use that as a vehicle to express the Mixolydian mode. And it's a very distinctive and recognizing color, and let's use that voicing in order to modulate from one tonality to another, which don't necessarily have any strong relation, but with the use of that voicing, we can easily modulate, and that's called parallel modulation. So you're using a voicing and you're modulating in another tonality using the same voicing. So let's start from the same basis, E764. So in that modulation, I used some suspended voicing in order to go from one tonality to the other, and we went from E to G and then E, C, and I think there was some B flat and A sus4. So that's a very distinctive sound and very distinctive color, and that's really, really useful to modulate. Now, the Mixolydian mode is of course not the only mode you can use under Sus4 voicing, and there are plenty of modes which have a perfect 4 and that can be really nicely expressed through a 7 Sus4 voicing. Let's take another example, maybe in D. So let's take a D Sus4 voicing, and this time let's unfold another mode and progressively discover it. So we started from a very neutral and suspended D7sus4 voicing and progressively unfolded a few notes. The first one was the minor 6. And that minor 6, of course, very naturally implied a minor third as well. So and what we did here is use a minor second. So in this case we created a Phrygian color. Always with the base of a Sus4 7 Sus4 voicing. There are plenty of modes that we can express and plenty of course harmonic possibilities with Sus4 voicing. Let's take another example and let's use once again that minor 6 pivot point, because the more note you add to your voicing, the more you unfold the whole mode. But there are some key notes that can really help building a color. So yeah, let's use and let's focus on that minor 6. And so let's go in A, so A sus4. Here is our minor 6. So we have a major mode here with a minor 6, a 4 and a minor 7. So in this case we have played already a lot of notes. So in this case our best option would be Mixolydian flat 6. That's a beautiful color. So once again in A, really beautiful color. So yeah, suspended voicing are voicing where the third is not clearly expressed from the start, and it let us a lot of possibilities to unfold other modes. So of course this way of practicing voicing and unfolding modes is done through improvisation, but it's of course true for composition, where when you have a riff with a 7 sus4 voicing, you can derive chord from that riff, taking into account the mode where this riff comes from, or not keeping the mode where this riff comes from. Yeah, let's take a last example. So in this case, I started from D7/4 and we moved on to other tonalities and to chords that were not part of D Mixolydian, but that were using similar colors with the sus4 voicing on each of those chords. And we kind of created a chord progression that resemble a classic chord progression based on the harmonization of a scale, but instead we based it using sus4 voicing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that lesson, and we'll talk more about the suspended voicing in next lesson, because there's a lot more to explore with those, and especially with chord over bass and color that change with a constant bass. So that's it, and I'll see you next time for the next bass and creativity lesson. Bye.